I have two children. One graduated last year from high school. I've got one who's still in high school. So as a parent, as a mom, I'm deeply concerned about the curriculum that's being taught. And I think really one of the ways to solve that, one of the simplest ways, and President Trump has talked about this, is you fund the student, not the school. So it puts power back into the hands of the family, gives the family power over where they want to send their kids. And if you find out that you're sending your son and your daughter down to the local, the school down the block, and they're teaching CRT, and they're teaching your kids to hate America, and they're teaching your kids to question their gender, you can say, no, 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 no. We're pulling our kids out and we're going to bring them to this school. And the money follows your child.
Some of the energy around that, because I went to a Trump rally by accident. I actually happened to pass a Trump rally in Beverly Hills, right by Rodeo Drive, Pretty Woman, Rodeo Drive, in the summer of 2020. I wasn't publicly supporting Trump at that time. I was kind of going in that direction, but I had never seen it. But I go to one of these rallies. He wasn't there. It was just the Beverly Hills Trump rally. And I saw what was the happiest, most joyous, music, dancing, American flags everywhere, truly diverse in the right sense of diverse thing I had ever seen before. And that was one of the things that finally sort of got me over the hump related to Trump. You've been in there in the middle of it with the energy and all that. Can you talk about just what that thing is like?
It is amazing. It is such a beautiful show of patriotism and love for America. Of course, everyone at those events loves President Trump. He's the reason they're there. But you're watching people, and I was just in North Carolina at the most recent Trump rally. You watch people show up early. It's not easy to get to these places. Sometimes they're in out-of-the-way towns, and they drive a long time to get there. They park a long way back. They walk. They're there for hours. I'm talking 7, 8, 9 hours. Sometimes it's cold. This isn't just a light level of commitment to President Trump. This is a deep, deep commitment and love for a man who put them first, who put working class Americans first, who put our families first, who put our rights first. So this is a deep love. And if people think that the Trump movement is gone, they've got their head buried in the sand. It is alive and well, and it is growing by the day. I almost get a little emotional when I get to these sometimes, because I look out at the sea of Americans who love America. And it doesn't matter what color their skin is, doesn't matter what their religion is, doesn't matter where they came from. They might be immigrants, they might have parents who were immigrants, they might be seventh generation Americans. And they're there because the thing that binds us together is that common thread that we love America. And that's why the left and the radicals on the left are trying to destroy that and make patriotism, and they're trying to make love for America a bad thing. They're trying to brainwash our kids into hating America through the perverted history they're teaching. What you see at a Trump rally is just pure love for this beautiful country that we have to save. It's the most amazing country in the world, and we can't let it go. And I just love that I'm watching this movement grow and that people are waking up.
You talk about history. What would you do on the education side? Because obviously so much of this is related to education. We're watching kids be either intentionally indoctrinated at public schools or intentionally indoctrinated by, woke corporations like Disney. What would you do on the schooling side?
Oh, well, we're about to put out our education plan, but I can tell you right now, first of all, I signed the Hillsdale 1776 pledge. That's the kind of education we should be teaching our kids. Not this woke garbage. And I have two children. One graduated last year from high school. I've got one who's still in high school. So as a parent, as a mom, I'm deeply concerned about the curriculum that's being taught. And I think really one of the ways to solve that, one of the simplest ways, and President Trump has talked about this, is you fund the student, not the school. So it puts power back into the hands of the family, gives the family power over where they want to send their kids. And if you find out that you're sending your son and your daughter down to the local, the school down the block, and they're teaching CRT, and they're teaching your kids to hate America, and they're teaching your kids to question their gender, you can say, no, 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 no. We're pulling our kids out and we're going to bring them to this school. And the money follows your child. And when that happens, I will tell you, in a very short order, these schools, mainly the government-run schools, are going to shape up. They're going to realize they're losing enrollment, and they're on the verge of extinction if they don't shape up and teach our kids curriculum that actually makes sense, teaches them to be prepared for the real world. It's called competition, right? If all of a sudden the kids are all leaving your school, going to another school, you're going to have to make some adjustments or you're going to go under.
Do you think they're too damaged to turn around? So you do I'm with you on the school that you fund students instead of systems for sure, more private schools, more charter schools, et cetera, et cetera. Do you think there's any chance, even if they saw a massive drop in enrollment, that the public schools would have some value or could come back?
Well, if they don't, they'll go the way of the dinosaur. I mean,
Yeah.
if pretty soon nobody wants to come to your school, it's going to be pretty hard. It's going to be pretty hard to stick around. I'm a big proponent of homeschooling. I think we need to support our homeschool families. They've been kind of left out of the equation. I'm on the campaign trail. I'll tell you what, homeschooling is growing. It's growing at a very rapid clip because people were tired of having their kids, school shut down. And then when they went back to school, they had to, abuse the children with these masks. So I'm a big proponent of homeschooling, and I think we need to support them as well. But we need to get really serious about the curriculum. My plan calls for at 10th grade, after 10th grade, we put our kids on a track, a career track, whether they're going to go to a 4-year college, a vocational school, whether they want to get a trade skills learned. And we can have our kids graduating at age 18 from senior in high school with a plan for a job. I was just at a school down in Vail, which is down in Tucson area. And they have a welding program they started at their school. And these kids are being hired before they even graduate high school. Obviously, they're finishing high school, but these companies are coming in offering them 70 to 80,000 or more to take on welding jobs. They're learning that skill in high school. They get full benefits. They can actually raise a family someday with that kind of a salary. We need people in the trades really badly. And those are the skills that I think our boys want to do. Even our girls want to do those. But I look at sometimes the way we educate our boys, and I'm a mom to a boy. And I know sometimes he would rather be in a class where he's learning how to weld, or he's learning some sort of a trade skill, and his mind and his hands are being worked, than sitting there listening to a lecture, especially if a teacher's droning on about CRT or switching genders. We got to get our kids ready for the real world.
If you're looking for more honest and thoughtful conversations about politics instead of nonstop yelling, check out our politics playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a variety of topics, watch our full episode playlist all right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.